There's a little pile of ashes where my old life used to be. Credit cards and memories all dumped into the sea. Well, this ain't no time for bull as I fly into the sun. Well, you can't trust anybody if you can't trust number one. Well, the man tells me my future. It's not so far away. And get ready for tomorrow. I gotta waste my whole today. My inner luck knows better. It's what I want to hear. Just like a diamond bullet, where it's crystal clear. Oh, yeah. Whoa. I can slap a tornado. I can dry up the sea, yeah. When I live for the moment, there ain't no fucking with me. You'll never find your pleasure if you worry about your pain. And I'm in a lot of pain right now. Welcome to the Cobra Twist podcast.
I didn't realize what that was until you were already like halfway through.
Yeah, they never used the full version of that theme song, and I'm very annoyed about it because it's a really good song.
Yeah, it is.
So speaking of pain, WWE.
Here comes the pain. Oh.
Here comes the pain. They did a bad this week. So much so that there's like there's two parts on my news segment this week. We'll start on the lightest note. I think I don't even know this for 100%. You might be able to confirm. I think we got confirmation this week that Cardi B is at SummerSlam, right? I saw that on Twitter. I hope it's true, just because I need a reason to cry. Now, releases. So I'll run through the ones I saw coming. Lana was released, Buddy Murphy was released, and Santana Garrett were released. I saw these coming, really. They haven't done anything with them in quite some time. Now, it is Tag Team Week this week, and WWE celebrated that by breaking up 2 women's tag teams. Because we lost Ruby Riott too.
Sorry, my thing cut out.
That's all good. There's now 2 women's tag teams on the main roster. My proposed solution to this issue is the same solution as all problems in life. The Bella Twins.
No.
Yeah,
you can look, but
you know
you
it's
can't
a bad
touch.
idea when Shop and I both say no.
Yeah, you know it's bad when Dana Brooke is 25% of your tag division.
Yeah. I really like the Riot Squad. I'm sad that Ruby Riott's gone. And on SmackDown last night, Michael Cole was like, "Oh, Liv Morgan's going it alone this evening." Well, yeah, she is. You fired her tag team partner, Michael.
Michael didn't do it.
Oh, well,
he represents the company, and that's bad enough for me. He's
probably still reading last week's packet.
Speaking of reading at a slower rate than everyone else, Braun Strowman, he's gone too.
Are you calling him stupid, Daniel? Are you calling him stupid?
Yes.
Are you trying to get these hands?
You know what? At this point, yeah. He was very over a few years ago. He used to like flip cars and stuff, and then and then I don't know what happened. But it's like he just under 3 months ago. He beat Shane McMahon at WrestleMania, and now he's gone.
Yeah, he was.
I guess Shane got the last laugh there.
Yeah, I guess bullying does work. But
bullying does work. Remember that, Nia Jax?
A WWE title match like less than a month ago. That was his last match,
and he's gone now.
Yeah.
It was like one of the best matches of his career.
Yeah. And speaking of surprising releases, Aleister Black, he's gone. I have a little bit written about this. I'm really sad about this. I've always been a pretty huge Aleister Black fan. I watched the Twitch stream the day he got released. He had some nice stuff to say about Vince McMahon, which is strange in today's era. It sounded like Vince was pretty big on him.
As you should.
So
be.
that means it wasn't Vince that fired him. It was Johnny Laryngitis.
Shout out to Johnny Ace.
And
I'm Johnny.
I'm sure he will be very successful in the indies and everything. And I'll be watching to see what he does. But I stand by this to this day. Tommy End is a shit name.
Yeah.
Huh?
Tommy End My Life.
It's up there with Martino's.
He was meant to be winning the United States Championship. But I guess this shows how high Vince was on him. Because Vince didn't want him to win it with like no audience.
I kind of feel
then he got fired.
I feel like Vince never actually wanted to give him the belt, but Alistair kept asking about it, so he just told him it would be when they came back to fans.
Look, Vince, I've bought these sunglasses. You have to let me win now.
Vince is like, no, you're gone, and I'm selling the company.
Yeah, it looks like they're selling. And something which I saw this week, Wrestling Observer. So I'll read out the message because this doesn't usually happen as I hear with releases, but they sent out a text message to all the other talent. I have a copy of the text message here. Shall I do the voice?
Yeah.
Shall I do the voice?
Do the voice.
Oh Jesus, I haven't done this in quite some time. I used to have a mean John Laurinaitis. No, I'm not doing the voice. I'm not doing the voice. Due to budget cuts, the following talent were released today. Braun Strowman. That's awful.
No.
Lana, Buddy Murphy, Santana Garrett, Ruby Riott, and Aleister Black. John Laurinaitis.
Yep. So, you guys, your friends, they're gone now. So
yeah, all your friends are unemployed.
Don't expect them to be here. Have fun. See you on Monday.
All your friends are unemployed. See you on Monday. Yeah.
By the way, come back to the Performance Center because you can't wrestle.
Come and take a promo class. It looks like they're probably selling the company. So who's buying? We'll start bidding here. I have 5 Great British pounds. Can anyone raise me £5?
I don't know how much that's worth, so I'm gonna raise you 73 cents.
That's less, but we'll go with it.
I will raise you 50 American dollars.
No, and by the way, here's a note for everyone. Right before the podcast started, Daniel said he needed to get a drink because it was 20 degrees outside. Now, us Americans don't know what that means, so I looked it up. That's 68 degrees Fahrenheit. What?
Yes, that's really hot. I'm not acclimatized to that.
Dude, that's like a average like March or April day. That's not even like summer temperature.
No, we average like maybe 10 degrees at most on a normal like April day here. It's double what it usually is. But on the WWE bidding thing, Chris, I will raise you 45 British pounds and a Hard Rock Cafe guitar pick.
So it's yours.
I will raise
sold to the highest bidder.
No, I have one more. $3, a Canadian 5-cent coin, and the greatest Royal Rumble championship.
Somehow still worth less than my guitar pick.
No, that looked good.
I will raise you 50 British pounds, a guitar pick, and a hair tie.
Okay, the hair tie
Is the hair tie used?
Yes.
Hey.
This is the worst shit ever.
Yeah, this is terrible. So let's talk about wrestling this week. Raw. We'll start with Raw. Here's all the good bits of Raw.
Oh, come on. You've done this for like 3 weeks, man. We gotta
Yes.
talk about
Oh, well, this is the third week in a row I've done this bit. This is the 14th week in a row that Raw has sucked ass.
No, man. We gotta talk about it a little bit.
Okay, Chop, you talk about Raw. I didn't
All right.
watch it because I don't have the mental sanity to watch Raw.
Let's talk. Let's talk about Randy Orton's goatee. Let's talk about that.
Oh, God, yeah, I saw that. That's horrible.
No, I want to talk about this. This is the only thing we have to talk about.
Shanky's not
Is
there.
that Reginald beat Shayna Baszler?
I don't want to talk about that. I want to
do
forget
wanna
about
talk
that.
about that.
That's a
really
problem to
wanna
drink
talk
away
about
later,
that.
Chop.
I want Reginald versus Shayna in barbed wire rope death match.
No, exploding ring.
Just
Exploding.
a shoot death match on Raw one week just to really throw as a ringer. Like, it'd be really nice to have a death match on Raw. Was there anything else other than Reginald going over Shayna Baszler?
Sheamus broke his nose, and like legitimately, like he had to get
Oh,
surgery or something.
Oh yeah.
damn.
That's about it, really.
Brutal. So NXT, I don't have much written about NXT. I don't know, Chris, if there's anything you want to add after this, but MSK defeated Legado del Fantasma to retain the tag championships. And in I think it was the main event, again, didn't watch. Adam Cole returned and attacked Pete Dunne, Johnny Gargano, and Kyle O'Reilly during their number one contenders match. He hit them all with a chair.
Yeah, the triple threat, that was the opener, and the tag title
Was
was
it?
the main event.
Ah, I apologize for not watching.
Yeah, it was a good episode of NXT, but
Was it?
Yeah.
it actually was. But I
I'm being
don't.
cynical this week. I apologize.
No,
You
yeah,
are. Stop being
I
chopped. We already have
understand.
one of those.
Yeah, I thought it was a good episode, and I like that they're doing a big fatal 5-way for the NXT title at Takeover, because I think the main event is just so.
When is Takeover?
Like 2 weeks, I think the
All right,
13th.
okay.
I think actually, yeah, Jesus,
It's
it
literally
is
this
hard
weekend,
to-
actually. Next weekend, yeah.
Yeah, next
13th.
weekend.
Oh, 13th will be. Oh man, I've got to choose. Do I want to watch
Almost
NXT or
no
do I want to
build.
stay up for UFC 263?
Oh my god.
I, I'm watching UFC. I don't fucking care anymore.
We're still gonna do that podcast one day. I'm not letting that go.
Episode 20, Chop. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be down for that. Yeah,
If we make it, what 7 more episodes?
probably not.
You can have that.
All right, cool.
SmackDown. I only have 2 things for SmackDown. One of them I've already said. Liv Morgan versus Carmella. Michael Cole said, Liv Morgan goes it alone.
Yeah,
Thanks for that, Michael.
and
Ray and Eddie's son versus the Usos. Ray and Dominic won. This was the opener. They won via roll-up, but the referee missed the fact that one of the Usos, still can't tell them apart, his shoulder was off the mat.
Okay, Roman.
yeah, it was like
They then had a match later in the night, and like I kind of had switched off by this point because it was 3 a.m. But from what I remember, Roman Reigns came out and like tried to kill Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, it was weird because in the opener they booked a ref botch, but they kind of botched the spot anyway. So it was like weird. I didn't know what the deal was there.
Pat McAfee said botch on commentary. Don't tell Stephanie McMahon.
Wait, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Don't tell
watch
Stephanie
SmackDown,
McMahon.
so
she'll
that's
cut your nuts off and
awesome.
keep them in her purse next to Triple H.
Yeah, check out episode 1 of Botch Club on WWE Network, starring Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. We're totally gonna make some more.
Who's Luke Gallows?
Oh, sorry, Festus. No, wait, sorry, Fake Kane.
I think we're all forgetting CM Punk's disciple number 1.
Luke Gallows. We said that already.
I prefer to know
Joey
him as
Mercury.
Baldy Head 1. So AEW, I didn't watch AEW.
You didn't watch anything this week, man.
No. Do you want to know?
And
I've
you're
lost
hosting a
all
wrestling
motivation. I've lost all motivation for this hellish sport.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but
Yeah,
NXT was really the only good show this week, so I don't blame you.
yeah.
Um,
I didn't watch SmackDown or AEW. I turned off Raw halfway through, and I watched NXT all the way through.
I
So-
watch every show all the way through because I hate myself.
Chop, do you have anything to say about
Smooth.
AEW?
It was, yeah, I mean, hell, if you wanted to watch a tag match and somebody cut a promo, this was your episode because there was about 3 of each. I think every segment was a tag match or a promo, except for the main event, which
It's
was
tag team week every week for AEW.
which was a bull
Because
rope
they've
match.
got about 94 tag teams.
Yeah, the main event was a bull rope match between Nick Camarado from the Factory and Goldust, and it was the best match of the night. But it was like
Oh God, how low were the standards?
it wasn't bad, but it was a weird thing to end the night on, especially because the Factory won a match earlier in the night. Like QT Marshall pinned Cody earlier on.
Yeah,
But then they have the other
I
guy
saw
from the
that
Factory
stuff.
lose. So like, I don't get their booking. It wasn't a great episode. Nyla Rose threw some burgers in the crowd.
What?
Yeah. Britt Baker had a title ceremony that lasted about like 3 minutes, and Nyla was there for some reason,
Yeah.
and she like destroyed the ceremony, and I don't know, it was stupid, and Andrade showed up or whatever.
Oh yeah, and
yeah,
Andrade showed up.
with Vicky Guerrero.
With Vicky Guerrero.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
couldn't have
I
just
like
signed.
no,
Couldn't
go
have
ahead.
just signed Tia Trinidad, huh?
Yeah, I like Andrade. I really do. But this is the time you debut him. Okay.
And that's who you debut him with.
Yeah, I don't
I
understand.
haven't seen her on TV in a while because the weeks I've watched AEW, thank Christ, she hasn't been on.
No, she's
Uh,
barely ever on. She's always on like Dark or whatever.
Does she still do the excuse me thing?
Oh yeah, it's it's as worse as it's always been.
I thought the Fed had a copyright on that.
No, that's her thing.
Life is hell. This week, Chop, Anthony Choptano,
I hate that.
the Needle Chop.
Oh, okay, I like that.
The Needle Chop. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. This week, you averaged 5 out of 10. That's really optimistic for you. That was mostly NXT.
Pretty much just NXT.
Yeah, NXT was an 8. Like,
yeah, NXT was definitely the highlight of the week. You really could have, because Raw was just bad. NXT was good. SmackDown was the same thing it's been for like months, and AEW was bad. So
I'd just like to say the comment I made earlier about this being the 14th week that Raw has sucked ass. I went back through your page, Chop.
oh god,
This is actually the 14th week Raw was terrible.
really?
I had to go back 14 weeks to find an episode of Raw that got higher than a 5.
Was it? It was the one I gave a 9. That random ass episode of Raw that was really good, like a few months ago. And
there was one in there somewhere that got a 6, but it was enough of like a blip on the radar that I didn't count it.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was just this one episode of Raw, and I don't even really remember what happened on it. I just remember it.
I think I remember it as like the content of the episode was horrendous, but it was quite funny. Like,
if it was that bad, I wouldn't have given it a 9.
Oh yeah, true.
You know what? Yeah, talk amongst yourself. I'm gonna go find it.
Excellent. I'm gonna start with this day in wrestling. 41 years ago. That's a very long time. Antonio Inoki defeated Stan Hansen to win the MSG League for the 3rd year in a row. This is the only time in the history of what is now known as the G1 Climax that the final win was via disqualification. That's the only time that's ever happened.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
I just found the review. I don't
Okay.
even really. This seems like it was just like a random. I mean, this episode of Raw could have been like this week for all I know. This was
Right.
March 22nd episode. It's only a few weeks out from Mania, and from what I can tell, I don't even really know what made it so good. I just kind of talk about how I liked everything. Okay, so Peyton Royce
Okay, credit.
faced Asuka on this show. That's maybe the most notable thing that happened.
I heard that.
Oh, it's this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ignored that when I was scrolling through because I was like, I didn't
Yeah.
really enjoy
I
it.
think that was Peyton Royce's last match too.
Yeah.
It was her last match in WWE.
Oh boy. So let's continue with this day in wrestling. 2000. It's always fun. Nitro. Eric Bischoff wins the WCW Hardcore title from Terry Funk.
As he should.
There's a sentence I didn't want to ever say. I
mean,
believe
what did
unless
Terry Funk do for hardcore wrestling anyway?
exactly. I believe unless I'm reading something wrong, this is Eric Bischoff's only title win ever. On the other channel, Raw, The Rock defeated Kane and Undertaker in a WWF title #1 contenders match. In the main event, The Rock faced the champion Triple H, and Triple H won.
Okay.
It was a really long, drawn out feud there, WWE. Thank you for that. The next year at a SmackDown taping, Jeff Hardy wins the light heavyweight championship.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that match specifically because it was like one of the only good moments the light heavyweight title ever had.
Yeah. 2004, the World Class Tag Team defeats the American Dragon and Curry Man to win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions in Osaka, Japan.
Shouts
Yeah,
out to Curry, man.
All I can think of is that picture of Daniel Bryan and Christopher Daniels when they were the tag champs. And the belts, they look awful. Those old IWGP tag titles were like smaller than the AEW women's belt.
Yeah. 2006 now. You're gonna start to see the content here dry out. 2006, WWE announced that they have acquired the video library of World Class Championship Wrestling.
Holy shit.
2 years later, in 2008, WWE announces that they have re-signed D'Lo Brown.
Holy shit.
Most of his comeback was on dark matches, but his return match in July of 2008 on TV was against Santino Marella. He won this match, but was released the next January due to budget cuts.
Holy shit.
Budget cuts,
And then I've looked through the rest of the time. There was only one thing that was notable. This is really like a testament to how awful WWE has been recently. We're jumping forward 12 years now to 2020, when last year on SmackDown, Bayley and Sasha Banks won the women's tag championships from Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. Also, I looked through the summary of this episode of SmackDown. Sheamus called Jeff Hardy a junkie.
This was okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Literal car crash
last week,
TV.
Yeah, actual car crash TV. Yeah.
Good one.
The week before last week, he was last week, the week before, Jeff Hardy did a kayfabe DUI, the first one of those in his life.
Wait, did they ever even explain the actual person that hit Elias?
I don't think so, but
because
Jeff Hardy
like,
and Sheamus fought in a bar, and it was quite good.
Yeah, because
they don't just set the bar; they destroy the bar.
Yeah, that's good. But the thought was like, Sheamus framed Jeff. So did Sheamus do it on purpose, or did he get in an accident and just blame it on Jeff? And why did he blame it on Jeff, even though they had like no heat before this?
Because it's feasible that Jeff Hardy would do that.
Yeah, true.
He could have got one of the Usos, I guess.
Oh
That would have worked too.
Whoa!
no, Jay was too busy with the with the karaoke contest.
The
Somebody
pain in your
call my
voice saying
mama.
that.
Chris, do you want to do the next segment? Seeing as this is
Oh, I
your
will
thing.
absolutely do the next segment. So, fun fact about this. So, for this episode's edition of Ranked, I came up with the idea. However, this is the first time ever that I actually don't have a list prepared.
Oh wow.
Oh, same. This is going to be terrible. We have
Wow.
dead air for
Oh,
5
alright.
minutes while we just
Why
think. You can
am
hear the
I the
cogs
only one
turn.
that has a list?
So, anyways, in honor of this past week being Tag Team Week, we are going to do our personal top 5 tag teams.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Shop, since you're prepared, go first. I'm gonna quickly jot down the list.
All right. Well, this is a first. I've never gone first here, so I'm gonna have to do the cold open.
Ski woo.
All right. Yeah. No, bad. So honorable mention, because we always have honorable mentions. Harlem Heat. I wanted them to get up here, but I couldn't. I couldn't find a place. But they're my number 6, definitively. And this is my personal like best tag teams ever. Not really like my favorites, but I would have put Harlem Heat at 6 if it went to 6. Anyway, number 5, Edge and Christian, and I really like Edge and Christian. I like both of them. But when you look back at it, their time as an actual tag team was only like 3 years. And
Yeah, it was a really short run.
yeah, so they were really good in their run and in their singles runs afterwards, but they never really got back together for a long enough time after those initial 3 years.
Yeah.
So maybe if they had had a longer run, I would put them up higher. But I think, just with how influential they were, 5 is a good spot for them. Number 4, and I'll just say here, I don't have anybody before like 1995 on this list because I never watched the Road Warriors
all tag team after 1995 can't bad match.
No, I mean like
All they know is jump off ladder and win championship.
no, I mean like I never watched Demolition or the Road Warriors or like the Midnight Express.
Yeah.
If I had watched them, maybe they'd be here. But I've heard how good they are. But I've never watched, Terry Gordy and Michael P.S. Hayes, Doc Hendricks.
Shout out to Bad Street USA.
God, yeah, I've never watched them, so I wouldn't put them up here. Anyway, number 4 is the Usos. And that might sound weird at first, but they've been around like way longer than you think they have. Like they've been around for like 10 years.
They've been
And
around
they've
like a decade. I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
and they won all these tag titles. And maybe, the face painted swim trunks Usos weren't the best. But them in the second half of their run since like 2016 has been really good. It's like one of
the down since day one ish Usos,
yeah, up until like 2019 where they both started getting hurt, and the DUIs and everything. But before that, like those 4 years where they were feuding with the New Day and they were on SmackDown were like amazing. So I would put them at number 4, and I think they can still even get better now. And now they're the team again. But I really like the Usos. Number 3 is the Hardys, and I mean I've had Jeff Hardy as my profile pick forever, but I really like the Hardys. But it's kind of the same thing as Edge and Christian, to where like they weren't actually a team like in their prime for super long. Like I know they've gotten back together a lot, and that's what I think puts them above Edge and Christian for me, and how good Matt and Jeff have been on their own. But their peak, like in like 99, 2000, 2001, around that time, was like one of the best eras of tag wrestling they've ever had, and they were like a big part of that. So I would put them at 3 for that. And I even think their run, like right before they came back to WB in like 2016 or whatever, was really good. But
Oh,
like,
Broken Hearted.
yeah. But that I kind of associate that more as like a Matt singles thing. But whatever.
Yeah, but Jeff was there.
Yeah, because I
I
think
think the drone played more of a part than Jeff Hardy did.
yeah, I think it's just like the two of them, amazing singles runs and amazing as a tag team. But if I'm
Yeah.
ranking them purely as a tag team, the fuck cop just came out of my house. I would put them at number 3. They're mad at me because I
That
put the Usos on top 5 all
yeah,
time.
that boat was more iconic to that storyline than Jeff
It's
Hardy.
a
The no
dilapidated
Benjamin.
boat.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Got
remember when
that
they tried to do
Skarsgård.
that in WB? That was hilarious.
I try not to remember it.
Anyway, number 2, and okay, they're technically a stable, and I didn't want to put stables up here,
Ah.
I know
but
who you're going with.
it's the New Day.
Oh,
Is it not who you're thinking?
that's not who I
Not-
was thinking.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I legitimately, I'd put the New Day like number 2 all time because
I
I mean,
don't
you
have
really,
a single modern tag team on my list.
really,
Yeah.
okay, wow, but yeah,
Well, kind of.
Okay, but I'd put the New Day at number 2 because they have the longest tag reign ever. And them as heels, like early on in like 2014, 2015, when the tag division wasn't that great, they were like holding
Oh,
that
heel
division
New Day
up.
was a trip.
Yeah, but then face New Day, especially like, not so much like, I think every time before the Kofi Mania stuff started, that was like their peak as a face team. And they were like amazing. Their matches with the Usos and them, just all on SmackDown in that tag division was so good. And building up to like even Kofi Mania, that's more of a Kofi thing. But the New Day were involved in that, and then even their run afterwards. I think they've just been really consistently good ever since they came in, and they've been around for like 7 years now.
Yeah.
Like, I brought this up like a really long time ago, but I think it's almost like, do you associate Kofi more as a singles wrestler or with the New Day? Because I kind of associate him with the New Day more at this point.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something I wouldn't have. It's I don't know.
See, because even if I try to think of Kofi as a singles wrestler, I don't think Kofi Mania Kofi. I think
Yeah.
fake Jamaican accent Kofi.
Yeah, although Kofi Mania was good at the time.
Oh, it was
but
great. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a whole separate discussion. But anyway, yeah, I'd put New Day number 2, and it's really the only thing Xavier Woods and Big E have ever done. But
Well,
what do you mean? Well,
I prefer not to speak.
Oh,
you like? Oh God!
I prefer
I
not to
hate you,
speak.
Daniel.
If I speak, I am in big trouble.
Yeah, you're a big
You're
consequences
already in
Creed
big
fan,
trouble.
are you?
I'm a huge fan of Up, Up, Down, Down.
Yeah, yeah. NXT champion Big E, count to 5. Anyway. Shout out to
Jesus
Brad
Christ.
Maddox. So
No,
New Day's
no,
number 2.
He did the thing. He said the thing.
you said it. We were all waiting for it, but you said the thing.
So my rated R, number 1.
Rated
not-
RKO.
Yeah, no. Yeah, guys, I think the welcoming committee is my number 1 all time. No, my number 1 all time, seriously, is the Dudleys.
Okay.
Whoa.
I mean, because really think about it, right? They were a tag team for like 15 years across 3 different companies and were good pretty much everywhere they went. Like in ECW, in WB, in TNA, they were always together. And even, Bully Ray's singles run. But I think they are just, I think, the best tag team, pure tag team ever.
Yeah.
Even actually, yeah, they kind of were stable in ECW, but Bubba and Devon is what I mean. They were the best tag team ever, in my opinion. And that may be a take I could change later on, but I think right now that's who I would say the number one of all time is.
Okay. I'll go next.
Okay.
We'll start with my honorable mention. I want to say the Brothers of Destruction.
Yeah, I thought
Oh.
about that, but
They're
yeah,
I only have them as an honorable mention because I did want to put them on the list, but it's like if you think Kane or Undertaker, you don't immediately put them with their
as
tag
a
team
tag
partner. Like
team,
in your head,
yeah.
you don't think of the Brothers of Destruction. So it was a fun thing, but like it's not really what they're known for. My number 5, and remember this is my list. Yes, these are my favorites. Don't crucify me. It's the APA.
No, that's
Oh,
good. No, that's
I
good.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm a huge APA mark. I think that they were the funniest part of TV for the longest time. I always pop whenever they show up at like reunion shows. Because they'll bring out the door and they'll have a
Yeah.
poker game
The
going on. It's
door.
excellent.
No, yeah, I really like the APA, especially when JBL tries to do with the APA stuff while he still has his JBL haircut.
Put the cigar out on the back.
Yeah, when Ron Simmons has looked the same for like 25 years.
I love it when he comes on TV and says one word.
Actually,
Number
yeah, Ron
4.
Simmons has looked the same since like 1988.
And I think saying damn is the secret to his look. Because it's all he's said since 1998.
Yeah, shout
And
out
he's
to
managed to
Doom.
maintain exactly the same facial structure.
Shout out to Butch Reed.
Number 4. Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna notice a pattern here. All of these, well, most of them. There's 2 tag teams that don't conform to this, but every tag team on my list has been in one match. Next up, the Dudley Boys, like a family in here, just a little disabled.
Wow, okay. Jesus.
What is that supposed to mean?
What was that?
That's the theme song.
Was it?
Don't you
What?
remember it? Like the theme song? You know where it goes like a family in here, just a little disabled, something about a table.
What?
Fucking Google it, man.
I've never heard this either.
Was that
Do you-
Spike Dudley's theme?
No, this was the Dudley
Wait
Boys.
a minute.
I'm not playing it because the show will get copyrighted, but it is there.
Okay.
Number 2, the Hardy Boys.
All right.
Alright.
Because they're excellent in every way. And number 1, this is my list. Even though like I don't think you can really count them as a tag team, but when I think of them, I think of 2 people, not the rest of the group. It's DX.
Which 2 people specifically?
Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
You're insane.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the other 2 are cool as well, and I like China, but
You don't like X-Pac.
no.
Shouts out to Xbox.
Well, you don't like Rick Rude.
You don't
It's
like
DX,
Hornswoggle?
Yeah, you don't like Robbie Roode's dad.
Little People Court is still the funniest thing ever.
No, God, that is just.
Sometimes when I'm feeling sad, I watch that bit. It's because it's really funny.
All right,
They actually did that.
with that Dudley's theme and Little People's Court, you're on thin ice, dude.
No, I'm being serious about the Dudley Boys theme song. I will find this to you.
All right, well, yeah. So Triple H and Shawn Michaels is your number 1 tag team ever.
Yes.
Okay.
Just realize, Daniel, if you're wrong about that Dudley Boys lyric, we're clipping this and posting it on
Oh yeah, we'll have you on Square Circle.
Alright, it's time for my list, I guess.
Oh boy.
Alright.
You put the ECW television title at number 1.
My number 1 is Right to Censor.
My number 1 is
One of
Natalia
the
and Tamina.
Ascension. All right. I have two honorable mentions. Can you guys hear me? Oh, real quick.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay, just making sure. All right. So I have two honorable mentions. One of them, actually, I lied. They're both from TNA.
Oh, hold on, Chris. Before you continue, I just
Yeah.
want to say I'm going to read this verbatim from Genius. We're coming
Oh, he
down.
found
The
it.
Dudley Boys by Jim Johnston.
Yeah. We're coming
Verse
down.
1. It's like a family in here, just a little disabled. Putting it down, we lay 'em out on the table. Who's in the house? The brother's in the house. About to turn it on out. Let you know what we about. Kinda like Cain and Abel. A bit unstable. Don't be breaking the frame. Break the whole damn table. How we shut it down, we give 'em a blast. Just keep it real though. Just choosing the ass. I was right.
So Bubba's gonna murder Devon.
The family
Bubba
in
wrote that,
here.
didn't he?
Yeah.
Bubba wrote that line, yeah. He was talking about his TNA run. That was shout out to Aces and Eights. Anyway, honorable mentions, Chris.
Oh yeah, please go ahead.
My two honorable mentions are both from TNA. Probably TNA's two most famous tag teams. Motor City Machine Guns and Beer Money.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get with that, yeah.
I thought you were gonna say
Yeah.
Beer
So
Money.
I've also joined the
Yeah,
trend of only having tag teams in the past 30 years. Or 20 years. We'll see. I don't know. Anyways, number 5, I have the Usos.
Yes.
The Usos were my favorite tag team at one point. And that was like 20. They're still one of my favorite tag teams. Not saying I don't like the Usos. I love the Usos. Shout out to Main Event and Jey Uso. But anyways, I've always just loved the Usos. They've always put on really great performances, whether in the ring, on the mic. That feud with New Day is just
Oh, yeah.
legendary.
It's one of the best tag feuds ever.
They always put
Yeah,
on good,
I'm really, I
a
have
good
no idea what I'm
performance.
talking about.
Whether fighting or spitting,
I'm
their
just
discipline
rambling.
is unforgiven.
I'm trying to make a convincing argument. Number 4, Dudley Boys. I actually didn't really know much about the Dudley Boys until like I started watching TNA in 2014 because that's when
That was their
Bully
peak,
Ray
yeah.
was like doing the thing, and I only found out really about the Dudley Boys and Team 3D through that.
Whew.
But thankfully, that's not the case anymore.
Oh boy. Thank the Lord. Preach, brother. Please continue.
Number 3, I have
Testify.
Edge.
All right, that's strike 2.5, Daniel.
Thank God he didn't say the lead up to that. Number 3, Edge and Christian.
There's a lot of overlap in these lists.
Yeah. Edge and Christian is
Almost
my
like
number
Edge and
3.
Christian were really good.
No, they weren't. They were ass. Yep.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Edge and Christian's my number 3. I've always loved Edge and Christian separately, and because obviously I wasn't alive when they were actually like teaming and stuff. But like going back and watching like all like the funniest bits of their tag team days, and even the matches, because their matches were really good with no matter who. Ugh. But with matches like the Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys, we'll get to them shortly. It's like, yeah, I'm a train wreck right now. Number
Yeah.
2, number 2 is the New Day.
Yes, Chris.
I mean, technically they are more of a stable, but they're how many times tag champions now? 11-time, right?
It's something crazy like that, yeah.
But yeah, and it's not.
The power.
No, I'm not gonna do the Biggie thing. I almost did
No,
the Biggie.
well, yeah. When I think of New Day as a tag team, it's either Kofi and Big E when they were like feuding with the Usos when they were heels,
or Biggie and Woods.
Yeah.
When I think the New Day, I think ass cereal.
When I think of New Day, I think of the ice cream cart.
When I think of New Day, I think of the NXT Women's Championship. Hey, oh, God.
Hey,
Don't get all X-rated now, Mr. Blockshow.
Anyway,
when
what's
I
your
think
number
of New
one,
Day,
Chris?
when I think of New Day, I think of that the time where they actually like first formed July 2014 on a random episode of Raw.
Oh
Yeah,
my god, I remember that.
yeah,
Where
because
like
They
Kofi
had
and
them
Big
doing
E.
vignettes with like a choir. What was up with
But
that?
that was later in the year. I'm talking about like Big E and Kofi just lost the match to like Ryback and Curtis Axel. Then Xavier Woods just came out in a white suit and
Yeah,
just
I
be
know
like,
exactly
Yeah.
"You're
what you're
not gonna
talking
get by
about.
shaking hands and kissing babies. From now on, we take or whatever." I don't remember the promo.
Yeah, it was a really weird
Shaking
start, but
babies and kissing hands.
it got better when they actually started wrestling.
It was
You're
a
not
weird
gonna get
start, but look at
anywhere
him now,
shaking babies.
shaking baby.
Yeah,
Shaking
kicking
babies and
babies
kissing hands.
yeah.
All right. Oh yeah. And number one, Slatergator. I'm kidding. I'm
No,
kidding.
you're kidding. That's a real one.
No, I'm kidding. Number one's the Hardy Boys.
Okay.
When I first got into wrestling, Jeff Hardy was my favorite wrestler. I just
Yeah.
loved like everything about him, like the face paint, like the high flying risky stuff. Even going back and watching the Hardy Boy matches, I just I really love Jeff Hardy, and I still do. And like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, yeah, I have the same feeling, Chris. Oh,
I started ranting about Jeff Hardy because let's be real, he's the better Hardy.
yeah. And I
But
like that me and Chris have the same list, just rearranged, and then Daniel put Triple H and Shawn Michaels in number one.
In all fairness, I did put Motor City Machine Guns and Beer Money as honorable mentions because if I
Yeah,
put them on my
yeah.
list, y'all would have killed me.
No, those are good. Those are good.
Okay. Okay.
let's remember, my number 5 was the APA.
No, I don't even
And your
think
number
that's
one was Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
no. I don't think APA at 5 is bad. I think putting like I take Road Dogg and X Pac over them too as a tag team. Like, you were a real big fan of their feud with Jericho, huh?
I'd take X Factor over.
I think Albert and Just Incredible.
You know what? I'd like to redact my list. My number 1 is actually Legacy.
Where's that referee?
Where's that referee? I went fucking no. That's not went well.
My favorite tag team is the Core.
I'm not entirely sure what happened here. I think the audio corrupted for this part of the podcast, so we've lost maybe like 5 minutes of the podcast. But I'm gonna drop right back in here. We're talking about next week's Dynamite, so I hope you enjoy. I feel like I should watch it just to get my like $5 worth from Fight. Because I never watch AEW and I'm still paying monthly.
Dude, I watch like every. I don't watch Impact and I don't watch NXT UK, which I know is a sin, but I just don't. And I don't know, man. Like I still want to keep watching it, but I almost tune into Raw just to see what goes wrong.
I know we've said it before, but it is car crash TV.
Yeah, it's just nothing is ever consistent on Raw. Like, oh, Angel Garza, we're gonna push him for 3 weeks, and he's not gonna show up anymore. Mansoor, yeah, we'll debut him. He won't ever show up again. Yeah, Viking
Debut
Raiders
him
will.
and break his undefeated streak.
Oh yeah, we'll bring the Viking Raiders back for 2 weeks and then not put them on TV. And it's like, oh, we'll have Jinder debut with Shanky, and then none of them are on Raw for a month.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the problem with like all of the like every show is that these feuds have been going on for too long. Like Drew and Bobby, I'm tired of it. Sheamus versus like the worst guys in the mid card. Get over it. Apollo Crews, no, leave, get out. Like, the only champions that I'm actually like enjoying really is like on Raw. It's nobody really. It's really nobody.
Rhea
And
Ripley.
she's losing to Nikki Cross. Like
Yeah.
nobody cares about that. NXT. Carrion's all right. I don't love him or anything.
Balor's probably. Oh, that was another thing we forgot
Kushida.
to mention on the news. Apparently there was someone from the main roster at the Performance Center this week, scouting talent. Who do you think's getting ruined this wave?
Yeah, I think Bronson Reed's gonna get called up in a few months, and then he'll get the same Keith Lee got, where he's kind of prominent for a little bit, and then just
I think they're gonna call Balor up again.
I think Breezango's going back up.
God no, please no.
What are they gonna do in NXT? They're just losing.
And what are they gonna do on SmackDown or main event?
Well,
they're gonna job to Jinder Mahal
Breezango.
and Shanky.
No, here's the thing with Breezango, right? You can say that going back to NXT will fix you, and yeah, sure, they were the tag champs, but they have just done nothing in like the legitimately, I think, almost 2 years they've been back in NXT. Like why are they even down there?
Well, Fandango kept getting injured.
Okay.
That kept halting things quick, but even still, you have a point.
Yeah, but isn't Fandango like in his like mid-30s now? Like, isn't he like? Yeah.
I think he hits 40 in like next year.
Oh Jesus Christ! Really? God, they need to bring back Johnny Curtis from with Derek Bateman. That'll save NXT.
Can we bring back the NXT season 1 cast?
Yeah,
but when it was a game show.
No, yeah. I want season 2 to come back because I want to know what Eli Cottonwood is up to.
I do,
and what Caval is doing.
What is he doing? Yeah. Whatever happened to him?
I don't know. He's probably just staying in his house because he's scared of COVID. Man, we love Loki. We all love short little man who wrestles in a suit. He's the best, isn't he? He can kick super hard. I hate Loki.
Sometimes a little too hard, if you know what I mean.
Didn't Loki get accused of like beating his wife or something? I don't know.
Oh,
that might have just been a rumor.
Thank you for tuning into the Cobra Twist podcast. Come back next week.
I think I'm thinking of the wrong person, but no.
Yes, let's end the podcast before Chop accuses anyone else of wife beating.
You know who else beat their wife? Steve Austin. You know who else beat? All right, well, thanks for listening to the podcast, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
it's been a horrible episode. Like,
it's been terrible. We did have a guest that was meant to be coming on this week, but he backed out. And this is a warning to Rian, if he's out there listening. I'm coming for your neck. How dare you not come on my podcast? Very upset with you.
I really didn't think you were to be finishing that with your neck.
I think
Chris, thanks.
You guys need some new people up here. Every time I come up here, it's awful.
Come up here? What is this, a territory?
Yeah. Every time I come to this side of town, I almost get shot.
Every time I come to this damn federation.
God, you guys need to get Alex up here. Can we get Alex on the podcast?
Oh,
he's never available.
Man, he needs to get available. Get what's his name? Get Ozzy up here.
No.
Either
I think it's fine. We're all too old for him.
Either you sold out Ozzy or Ozzy. One or the other.
I know which one I was thinking of. That'll do for this week. Thank you for watching.
It's
always a good note to end on, is wife beating.
That's what she said.
Wow. Okay. Well, who else be their wife? Chris Benoit. Anyway, thanks, guys.
He did a whole hell of a lot more than that, brother.
Bye.
And that's getting cut.
Yeah, that's getting cut.
Oh, radio, tell me everything you know. I like to sing with the radio. I like to play it real loud. I like to drive it with the top down, rolling like thunder, always drawing a crowd. Every babe's gonna want a piece of me, yeah. I stare into the mirror. I like the things I see. Oh, radio.
You know who else be their wife?
When you were singing that, all I could think of was that one clip of Kane crippling Zack Ryder.
When I did the rolling like thunder, always drawing a crowd line, I almost went, yeah, not really.
Not anymore. Not so much, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Matt
All right,
Cardona. I'm sure you're a big hit, bud.
Something about wrestling figures.
Yeah, we love Zack Ryder versus Kurt Hawkins being one of the biggest feuds in Impact.